What up, YouTube? It's the Ways, and I'm Tia, and today we're back with another video. I'm definitely excited about this video. You've already seen from the thumbnail that we are going to play in the new Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. Yes, I'm so excited about this palette. I happened to get my hands on it, and let's just say I have my haul coming up for Sephora, so you'll see it in there. But I wanted to get some looks out for you guys, so we are going to do one palette, 3 looks with this Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. It is absolutely fantastic. It is one of her midi palettes. It goes for $69, I want to say. It has a lot of cooler tones in this palette, which I actually appreciate. You have a lot of pinks, you have a lot of greens. I'm excited to play in this palette. This palette was created because of it's like a baby, it's like a mesh of the retro palette, the glam palette. There you go, Retro Glam. She dropped a mini retro palette that had kind of the same type of color story. So when we got the retro palette, people were expecting something a little bit like this. So pretty much it's like 3 palettes. I'll put a little picture of the mini retro up and the retro palette. I don't own neither one of those palettes, but I do have the glam palette, which is by far my favorite palette of my collection, period. And it's a cool tone. Let's see if I can get it in there right. It's a cool tone, vibes, sultry, sexy looking a palette. Don't worry, I will be bringing it this winter for Way Back Wednesday. Even I would love to mesh up these 2 palettes together because you have a lot of color in this palette and more neutral cool tones in this palette. So yeah, putting those together would be fantastic, especially because you don't have a lot of depth in the new palette. So I'm excited to play with this. As per usual, Natasha Denona, you can pop out the back so I can make my own retro glam palette. Okay. But anyways, if you want to see, oh, I gotta say the packaging is like, it's thicker than this one. I think it's because of this front. When I first seen the front, I was like, I don't know if I really like the design, but it is hefty. It makes sense with what's in the palette, so I'm not mad at it. I was just like, what is that? Is that supposed to be retro? Like, I think my hair looks more retro than the packaging. Just saying. Anyways, if you want to see the looks that I create using the new Natasha Retro Glam Palette, then definitely please keep watching. But first, during the intro, go ahead and subscribe if you're not part of the fam gang. Go ahead and give me a huge thumbs up if you're feeling the vibe on this channel. And go ahead and hit the notification bell just so you can be updated every time I upload a new video. You guys, I'm so excited. Let's go. These are the swatches of the Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. I know I normally bring them to you in natural lighting, but I was not able to this time. But I think that these swatches definitely give a representation of this palette and how gorgeous it is. Okay, so I have my whole face done. Like, who am I? Okay, I don't have my whole face done, but I have a lot of it done. I pulled you a little closer so we can get into these eyes, but just let you know some of the things that I kind of prepped with. I went ahead and washed my face, and then I used the Biossance Squalene Copper Peptide Plumping Serum. Then I went in with a little bit of eye cream, which is the Ole Hendrickson Banana Bright Eye Cream. Nothing new there. And then I went ahead and used my moisturizer, which is the Polypeptide 121 Feature Cream by Youth to the People. Loving this stuff. I've said that multiple times in a couple videos. For my primer, I did a video using Drugstore Takeover. If you haven't seen it, you know, I don't know if it's up yet or if it's coming, but I did use this new e.l.f. I don't know how new it is, but the e.l.f. Putty Primer Vitamin C. So I use that today too, so I could test it out again. I'll let you know the rest of the products that I used that was makeup after we finish this look. So yes, let's get into it. Now I did prep my eyes with the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and this is in Caramel. So that's what we're using as our eyeshadow base today. So when this palette first came out, I was like, I want it, but I'm gonna wait. But you know, the universe has ways of working itself out, so I have it. Let's see how I want to go. I have not swatched this palette, so it's kind of hard just jumping in, but I kind of know what I want to do. I think I want to kind of do 3 different looks and them all kind of be a little different. So, which story of my life. The other thing is there are not a lot of mattes with depth in this palette. So, this is the only matte that is deep, and it is her cream to powder formula. She has about, I think, 4 different formulas in this palette. The cream to powder, your creamy mattes, your creamy shimmers, and your sparklier type shimmers. So we do have a variety of different textures and formulas. I just wish there was a little bit more depth, even if I would have got a darker brown, a darker green, a darker pink, but it's okay because I do have the Glam palette and I have plenty of palettes that I can pull from. But yes, or if you're somebody that really doesn't like a lot of depth, but you love greens and pinks, oh, this is like so good. So let's see. So I think I want to go into this color called Faye right here. My lights kind of do drain out the palette, so I do apologize. But you have seen swatches. So Faye is kind of like, I don't even know how to really describe it. You see it? It's like a gray with like a green undertone. And I'm taking this on a Rephr 15. Just so you know, also Rephr is going to be having 50% off site-wide coming up for Black Friday. I'm so excited. So definitely will be stocking up on some brushes because I love these Rephr brushes. I think they're my favorite. So we're just throwing that in the crease. Somebody had recommended like doing one look per eye, which makes sense because it could get me like to get the videos up faster and not have to take off my makeup if I did it in the same day, which I really don't do that a lot. But I kind of like to see the full vibe of the look, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm kind of just putting this with both eyes done. I actually really like this tone. I've seen some reviews using this palette, but not very many people actually nobody, with my complexion are darker. So I'm really curious to see how this palette is going to perform on my skin tone. That's the color Faye. I was tempted to do an eye swatch video with this just because of that, but you know those eye swatch videos be the most. They be doing the most. Okay, so I really like this, how it's blending out, very nice and easy. It doesn't look too pastel-y. I like that color. There's also this color Lucy that's very similar, so I'm curious to see what that's gonna do, but we're not gonna do it in this look. This really turned gray on me, the color Faye. Let me take off this mirror. I was complaining how my palettes don't have mirrors, and now I have a mirror and not using it. So let me take this little plastic piece off. I'm gonna take this Sigma E25. It's like a flat type brush, and I want to give a little bit of depth, and I want to go into the color Evergreen and see what it do, if it gives me any depth. So we're just gonna pop this on the outside V here down at the bottom. It doesn't necessarily have to go into my crease, and we're just gonna kind of wiggle and blend this. Pat. I love these formulas, are really, really nice. These cream to powders. Oh, look at that. That's super duper pretty. I did most of my face, but I didn't powder yet, so I will probably powder and then we could do the bottom lash line. But I'm not getting any fallout, which is fantastic, which is usually why I don't want to do my eyes first. I mean, last. That is a beautiful color. It looks like evergreen. Like, it just, that's the name, evergreen. Oh my god. It's so pretty. Take the original brush and just kind of like soften that edge. Wait, let me even this out. I might not do this for every look, but since we're here, going to my mom's house, I'm gonna go eat. I'm excited. I also am going to do my Sephora haul video, so if you see the same look, that's why. I was out of town for last weekend. It was my best friend's birthday. They had like a little surprise birthday party for her. She turned 40 and her husband like went all out. We went to Vegas. That's where they're from, but we went and it was so nice just to like see my friend, celebrate her life, eat good food, meet new people, take a little road trip, spend time with my husband. It was good. We had a nice little hotel, got a little upgrade. Okay, it was nice. So I wasn't able to get my haul video up, plus I really shopped the last day of the sale. So, and I ordered online because when I went in store, they didn't have what I wanted. So I had to do a lot of it online and took a while to get here. So, and this was one of the pieces. So yeah, I love that. Look how simple, without me talking through it, how fast that was just to get the other eye on. That's kind of what I wanted to show you. So then I want to go into this shimmer. For some reason, the shimmer Oscar is like calling my name. Yes, it's like a taupey, it looks like a taupey gray color, and I'm assuming that it has some green in it. So let's see what it do. I'm gonna use this like round flat brush that I got from a BoxyCharm. I'm gonna go into the color Oscar. It is kind of a fluffier. Oh, this is such a pretty tone. Look at it. I think that, okay, I want to see how it looks. Oh, look at it, no fallout. That's why I love Natasha Denona. I mean, not saying you never would get fallout, but oh, don't even have to spray that brush. Look how pretty that looks. I love this look. Just putting it on the lid, blending it into the crease. That's really, really pretty. I'm going to kind of connect it and tap it over evergreen. I'm going to take my brush with evergreen a little bit more, and I'm just going to kind of blend those two. Then I think I'm going to take another little brush. This is a Playing in Makeup Y25 brush, and just to kind of merge those colors together and use another color in the palette, I think I'm going to go into the color Fringe, which is this light matte pastel color, and just drop that right in the middle here. Ooh, well, that just gave it a whole nother vibe, and kind of at an angle in the middle of my eye, so it kind of just opens everything up. Okay, let me finish the other eye. Let me put on a little bit of powder, and then we will do the bottom lash line together. But this is kind of what we're looking like. Okay, so I went ahead and powdered a little bit. Let's go ahead and wrap up this bottom lash line. What I think I want to do is I think I want to take Fringe, which is that light color that we used in the middle, just to tie kind of everything together, and pop that on my lower lash line. This color is a little bit more powdery, but it's not like I'm having fallout all over the place. So I could, like, it picks up a little bit in the pan, but it's nothing too major. And dang, it's really bright. Look at that. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. These colors, these shadows are so easy to play with. Natasha Denona, she just makes it so easy. And then what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit, same brush, a little bit of evergreen, which was the dark green, and I'm just gonna place it on the outer eye. I swear this like color story is just something so unique, in my collection. All right, then I want to do like an inner corner highlight. So I think what I want to do is, let's try the color Polonian, which is right here. It has some green to it, which I wasn't expecting this to be a green look so much, but I guess that's what we have. I'm not even gonna spray it. Ooh, now that color just pops. That's a different type of shimmer than I feel like Oscar was. I love the taupiness in Oscar, but I love the brightness that just brought to the eye. Look at that. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. Okay, let me throw on some mascara. Let me bronze up this face, put on a little blush, bring you a lip, and we'll wrap up this first look using the Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. I'm so excited. I love the look that was created. Kind of went a little bit more green than I anticipated. I really kind of wanted to keep it more silvery, taupey, grungy type of vibe. So I probably should have maybe used a different color besides evergreen, but I'm so glad that I was able to play with it. So here is your green look using the Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. Let me quickly go through the products that I used to complete the look. So for my brows, I did use my Benefit Pow Pomade in 3.75 by Benefit Cosmetics. I told you I used the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer to clean up my brows and as an eyeshadow base. I used the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Caramel as well underneath my eyes and as a highlight. For my foundation, I tried out this foundation the other day and it was not great because of other products, but I used it today and I actually really liked it. It's the NYX or NYX Total Control Pro, and this is in Cappuccino. It's the one with the little drop. I actually really like the way it finished and looks today. Let me know in the comments what you think about the foundation from what you can see. I set my face with my OPV Beauty London powder, and this is in medium. Everything I use will be listed below in the description of this video as well if you ever want to check them out. For my bronzer, I went in with the Ace Beauté Bronzed in Paradise palette, and I just used this color right here to bronze up and warm up the skin. For my blush, I went in with my Playing in Makeup by Yolanda Blush Bloom palette. Nothing new there. And I used Sienna and Cheddar's Chestnut, and I just mixed these to get this kind of like peachy, bronzy tone, which I thought went well with the eyes. Let me know what you think of that, or is there something else that maybe a pink or something that we could have done. For my highlighter, I think the highlighter is perfect for this palette, to be real with you. I went in with my Benefit Cosmetics Cookie highlighter because there's like a subtle frosty pinky tone to this highlighter. I think it will match well with a lot of the looks you do with this palette. So obviously I'm going to do 3 more looks and I use the same products for each look, so you'll see how this one works in there. And then finally for my lips, I just kept it really simple and basic. I went in with my Gloss Bomb by Fenty Beauty in Fussy, which probably will go with a lot of the looks as well in this palette. I didn't want to put on too bold of a lip because I feel the eyes are kind of like bold and colorful. So that's how we wrapped up this look. Let me know, what do you think of the first look? If you're feeling the vibes of this look, go ahead and leave me a green heart in the comments, and let's get on to look number 2. Okay, let's get into the second look using the Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. I'm excited about these next 2 looks. The first one was really, really nice. So let's see what we can create. I'm thinking I want to play in the pinks a little bit today. So let's see what it do. So think first, I'm going to take this color Belle or Belle. I'm going to take this color Belle, which is the darkest pink matte in this palette, but I think it's a really, really pretty pink. And this is just a, I thought this was a Moda brush, so I don't know. But we're going to take it on this angled brush, and I think I want to work on this eye. Make sure we have no creasing. We're just going to drop it on the inside, and I want to kind of see how much depth I get from this. Well, I know it's not going to be much depth. I guess I'm just wanting to pat it on there and see how opaque it is. I think I want to try a different brush, which is more of from the same brush set, but it's a little bit more fluffy. No, that's not it either. Okay, something like this. I think this is a Luxie brush, and it's like flat, but it still has like, it's still kind of condensed. This color is gorgeous. It's like a mauve-y pink with like gray undertones. I actually feel like this is the color that I painted my daughter's walls a while ago when I first moved into this house. She changed it to white now that she's older, but I wanted her to have a pink room with a gray undertone. My son had a blue room with a gray undertone. Okay, so I'm just kind of patting that in there. I guess that's as much darkness as this color is going to get. I'm going to go ahead and take this same color kind of up in this area of my eye. Kind of like a, at an angle. Kind of do one here, one there. It's going to be a little different type of look, but I think it'll be fun. And give us some different dynamic, like, what do they call it? Kind of like just abstract. A little bit of an abstract vibe, okay? Not blending much, just kind of stamping it on there. So I'm going to take the angled brush that I was using originally, and I want to go into the color Jazzy, which is like the darkest shimmer in this palette. Not going to spray it. I'm going to kind of use it as like a matte, but I'm just going to put it on the outside here and kind of connect it to that pink. And then also kind of connect it to this pink. I'm gonna kind of curve it around that pink on the inside here on the crease. That's a pretty color. I take the original brush with the pink, and I'm just gonna pat and kind of blend that shimmer Jazzy into Belle. We'll come back and do more blending as need be. Actually, I think I'm going to take the fluffier brush from this red set, and I want to go into the color Holly, which is this pale pink here. What we're going to do, because this is so fluffy, I'm going to take off any excess, and we're just going to move this around the edges just to soften this outside and give it a little bit more brightness there. I really actually like that color Jazzy. I'm going to take the brush for Jazzy and just kind of blend. I'm also going to take Holly, and I'm just going to soften the outer edge here of Belle. Belle would be a color I would put all over my crease. All over the eye. Like, I'd wear this matte all by itself, and I'm not a huge pink person, but I love the vibes of these pinks in this palette. Soften a little bit here still. I'm going to take the brush that I had Belle on again, and I'm just going to reinforce that here. Don't worry about this negative space because we're going to add some shimmer in there. Going back into Jazzy a little bit to deepen up this V. We'll also go ahead and take Flare if we can with this brush. Underneath, I know I didn't set with powder, it's okay. Just a little bit to wrap that around. Okay, I'm gonna go into the color Flare, which is this beautiful pink here. Beautiful pink. Shimmer, you can see it's pretty dark too in the palette. Let's see how it correlates on the eyes. What I am going to do with this shimmer is I think I am going to go ahead and spray it. And then we're just going to kind of mesh this between Belle and Jazzy. I love this already though, just these two, but we're going to add Flare. Because why not? Just in like the negative space between the two shadows. Not going up too high in the crease. It's kind of subtle. Maybe because of where I have it. I'm going to pick up a little bit more, spray her. Because this is what she looks like on the brush. So I thought we would get more impact on the eye. But let's see here. Let me get a smaller mirror so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah. Kind of swiping it is definitely giving me more impact instead of patting, like swiping. Definitely. And pulling. So I kind of want to blend these two. I'm taking the back of the brush with barely any product and blending Belle on the inside with Flare, and then I'll do the same on this side with Jazzy. And really kind of pull that in. I do like it though, because it's kind of smoky, but it's like a pink smoke. Okay, I'm going to go back into Jazzy's brush and just reinforce Jazzy and blend it with Flare. Cool. Then what I want to do is I want to take this color. I'm going to take like a pencil brush and I want to go into Flutter, which is this really pretty pinky tone here. It looks more like a topper shade, which is kind of what I want. So I'm going to go into this here and kind of make sure I don't get too much because I'm not going to spray that, but I just want to go and highlight my brow bone. It is looking more shimmery with the brush. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of my finger. I'm just going to press it through here. Wow. Yeah, way more impact with your finger on that one. And bring it down into Flare. That color is shimmery. So I'm kind of just working it where I want it. The outside here. Down. Pretty. Okay, I'm going to take Flutter and I'm going to throw it on the inside as a inner corner highlight. Then also I'm going to take the brush that had Flare on it. So a little bit. Spray it again. This one is very abstract. It is different, but watch. It will all come together. You have to trust the process on this one for sure. We use 3 different shimmers in one matte. Just plugging that on the middle here. So Jazzy and Flare meet. I want to reinforce Flare a little bit. I think I'm going to spray it as well. Yes, I love this. Take the brush with Belle and just reinforce it a little bit to blend with all these shimmer shades. I like it. I hope you can see the effect that it's giving. I love the tones. They're so soft. It's like you wouldn't expect them to be this soft, but so impactful. Flutter. The shimmery color. Oh. Okay, let me go ahead and even out my other eye and I'll be back to show you the final look. Yes! So this is the second final look using the Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. I love how this look came out. I'm glad we were able to switch it up a little bit and use the pinky shades in this palette. I love the way Jazzy performs. I love Flare. Flutter is probably one of my favorite shades in this palette so far. Well, besides Oscar that I used in the first look, but it came out really, really green. So it came out a little different than I had expected it to. So yeah, so far we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of the colors in this 15 pan palette. So I'm really excited for the next and final look, but I love this pink, gray, sparkly contrast of an eye. Like, I think it all came together. Let me tell you how I wrapped up this look. I did use the Bad Gal Bang Mascara by Benefit Cosmetics. I don't think I told you that for the last look. I used the same mascara. For my cheeks though, I did switch it up a little bit. I went in with this Nabla Skin Glaze. It's called Adult Only. I've been wanting to use this color. It looks very peachy on camera, but it kind of gave me the vibe of Flare. I don't know if you can see it as much. It's very subtle. I thought it was going to be a lot deeper. Fenty Beauty makes a highlighter that resembles this color. I think I'm going to have to pick it up. I was like, no, I don't need to pick it up because I have this one. But now that I put this one on, this one's a lot more subtle, but it still does what it needs to do. It gives what it needs to give, especially with this such dramatic of an eye. This one just was really, really pretty and I wanted to use it. I didn't use a highlighter because I used this and it kind of has a little glow in there. The last thing I used was from Sephora collection, and this one is their creamy, like, moisturizing lipsticks, and it is in Squad Goals, which is my favorite. I love this lip color, and I think it goes perfectly for that mauve-y, taupey type of vibe. So yes, if you're feeling the vibes of this look, go ahead and drop me a pink heart in the comments, okay? And let's get on to look number 3. All right, y'all, let's get into this third and final look using the Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. I'm excited. So as I was going through my stuff, I realized I had the Retro Baby palette, which is kind of supposed to go with this. So that would be kind of cool to try to drop like this dark maroony type shade with like some of these shimmers in here. I'm kind of interested to try that out, but not today because we're only using this palette. Okay, hopefully you're close enough. Okay, so today I think I want to do something a little smoky. So I want to go, well, smoky for this palette. I think I'm going to go into the color Lucy, as I haven't used it. It might be too bright. It's one of the mattes, the ones that look a little bit more like a beigey matte. Kind of like the color Faye. So I don't know what it's going to do or pull. Well, that's okay. Actually, they kind of look very similar. I think also if I use more of a white base or a brighter eyeshadow base, that can make a difference with this color. But yeah, I can't wait to like partner this palette with so many different palettes. Like, I think it'll be really fun. And I don't do that often, so I might have to bring something like that to the channel, like a palette mashup. Don't tell nobody else. Palette mashup. My way. We'll see. I'm just blending this out, and this is a Real Techniques of brush. It's just very kind of fluffy. So I don't want any rhyme or reason to the shadow. I just kind of want it going into the crease and then going floating up into the brow bone. And that's kind of it. This is going to be a very simple eye, this one. So all right, so I'm going to take another, or actually this is a Moda brush, and it's kind of condensed. So I want to go into the color. I'm trying to use as many colors as possible, guys, and I haven't hit them all, but I'm going to try. So I want to go into the color Maxi, which is one of the darker shimmers in this palette. It kind of has a gunmetal-y type vibe. I see a little purple in there, green. I just think this is very pretty. So I want to use this all over the lid and see what it do. And then kind of blending the edge of this brush into the crease to blend those two colors to mesh together for our smoky eye. I like this color. It does have a little purple vibe, or taupey vibe, I should say, to it. Kind of like Oscar, which is like, I think, my favorite color. Okay, then we're going to take Lucy again and just really soften the edges of this. I'm going to take the color Oscar. I know I've used it, but I just want to put it in the middle here. Just towards the bottom with my finger. Just to open up that eye a little bit. Okay, to wrap up, I just put a little bit of concealer on. I didn't set it or anything. I don't know if I'm going to. Probably not so much. So what I want to do is I want to play with a couple of these other shadows. So I'm going to go into the color Oz, which is this darker green shimmer here, on a smudger type brush from Moda. I am going to go ahead, just to get the most intensity out of this shadow, I'm going to go ahead and spray it. So I'm not really worried about fallout. I don't have too much on my face, but I also didn't powder. So I'm just going to take that on this smudger brush. Ooh, that's a gorgeous color. Wow. It has a different type of green vibe that I'm like, yes. I don't even know how to explain that. It kind of has a green vibe with like a little bit of a frost to it. It's so weird. That's pretty. I wish I would have used this all over my eye too. So I'm just going to take it there. Then I think I'm going to take a fluffier little brush and I'm going to go back into Maxi, which is the dark shimmer we put on our eyes. I'm not going to spray, but I'm just going to kind of like blend this out and connect it to the bottom part of the lid. Just so we have the same vibe as Maxi, but with that green. Oh, that green is so pretty. That green is so pretty. That is, Oz is a pretty color. I was not expecting that. I have a lot of greens in my collection, and I have nothing. I really have nothing like any of these greens in this palette, I think. But yeah, that one is gorgeous. Okay, then for the inner corner highlight, we know what we'll be doing later. Yeah, cleaning brushes. Joyful, joyful. So I'm going to go into the color Marlin, which is this brighter green shimmer here in the corner. And I'm going to go ahead and spray that too, just to see the intensity of that shade as well. And brighten up the eye a little bit, even though it's a smoky type of vibe. Ooh, that one's really pretty too. A minty frosty situation going on that I'm kind of enjoying. Like, I really like that. I think that totally brightened up the eye. I could have went in with the matte, but I'm glad I went in with this color. It kind of, I was expecting a color to be like my shirt, but there's really not once I opened the palette and had a shirt on. But this kind of ties in a little bit with that vibe of this green. So yeah, that's pretty. Just gonna go back in, blend. So yeah, let me go ahead and blend where I need to blend. Let me go ahead and do the other eye. Let me finish up my face, and I will bring you the final look using the Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. Yes, so this is the final look using the Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. And I'm so excited about how all three of these looks came out. I love this smoky type of vibe with a little pop of green or whatever. I really like it. Bear with me, one of my lights went out, but let me wrap up this video and tell you how I finished this look and then give you my final thoughts on this palette. For my mascara, I went in with a Bad Gal Bang mascara like I did in all of the looks. I did use a little cookie highlighter in this particular look just to give a little bit more oomph on the cheeks. For my bronzer, I did use the Ace Beauté Bronzed in Paradise palette, and I just went in and warmed up my face with this, but I actually used this tone as my blusher today. For my lips, I just stuck with my Sephora collection Squad Goals lipstick. I think it's just the perfect tone on me for like a cool tone nude type of look. So we kept it there, especially being a smoky look. I thought it was appropriate to go with these eyes. So that's how we wrapped up this look. I don't think I used anything else any differently. So everything I did use for all of these looks will be in the description of this video as well. So this beauty here, so the packaging, not my favorite. I kind of would have just even preferred the plain ones, or something just a little different. I do like that it is raised a little bit and seems a little bit more heftier quality wise. Looking at the palette now, we went in. I think I used every color in this palette but one, which was Sage. I didn't go into Sage, but everything else we used one way or another, and I'm very proud of myself for that. Yes, 15-pan palette, and I used 14 of the shades in 3 different looks. So that just shows you the versatility of this palette. One thing, let me get it where I can get it. One thing that I love is that I can go with any of these shades by themselves and be okay. I feel like, yes, I was complaining there wasn't enough depth in this palette, but actually I like the subtleness of this palette. Like, it's just very subtle. All the looks came out very natural looking, but with some color, and I kind of like that. The second look that I did had a lot going on, but when I kept looking at myself in the mirror after I did the look, I was like, dang, this is so pretty, but it's so not in your face. Like, this is a smoky eye that you could probably wear. Like, I'm gonna wear it out. I'm going somewhere, I'm not taking this off. Like, I think it looks absolutely fantastic, and it's subtle. It's not like bam bam thank you ma'am. It would have been nice to have maybe a darker cool tone brown, but like I said, but I do have my Glam palette, which has cool tone deep shades. This mini Baby Retro has this plummy shade if I want to deepen some up with more like a pinky tone. So I'm actually not mad at it, especially on my skin tone too. I was concerned. One thing, I did watch another review by Morgan Turner. She's a YouTuber. She's good. She's the truth. Like, I think she's really, really good. She loves makeup. She does high-end makeup. She does drugstore makeup, but she's really thorough on her reviews. And one thing that stuck out to me that she said is how this palette really brought out like her brown eyes. And she has a really light brown eyes, so a lot of palettes I feel like make her eyes look browner, but this one I actually think my eyes are pulling brown in the different lights and stuff like that. Granted, we lost the light, but I think it just opens up my eye, so I really like that. I like the pinky tones, and I'm not a pinky person. I like the 2 deep shades. I love Oscar. I love these greens. This Oz color surprised me. I wish I would have used it in another video, like not even playing. Oscar, Oz. I even like how Marlon popped the green there. Sage and Fringe are kind of close, but I think Fringe is more pastel-y than Sage. I haven't used Sage. I love Jazzy and Maxi. I love this palette. I love this palette. And I'm glad I got to use that many colors in these looks to really get a feel for the vibe. And I'm loving this vibe. Not to mention that I don't have any color stories like this in my collection. So it was definitely worth getting this palette. And I'm so happy that I got this palette. Plus the quality is A1. Natasha Denona, like everybody says that, but it's real. Like, you get what you pay for sometimes. And I think with these type of palettes, I like the mini size. I do want the Metropolis. I'm not even gonna lie. If you don't know what that is, it's one of her bigger palettes. They're like 125 or something, 129, something crazy. But I want that palette. I want that palette. But, you know, this is a great palette, and if you were thinking about it, I hope my video helped you make a decision. If it's something that you want to pick up or wait, you know, you can wait or you can get it now. That's like totally up to you. I did get it for 20% off at the Sephora VIB sale, so that does make a difference. My phone is just going crazy. I do apologize. But anyways, yeah, so that comes to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which look you like the most out of these looks. If you're feeling this look, go ahead and drop me a black heart in the comments. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for spending your time with me on this 3 looks 1 palette with this Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. We will see you in the next one. Have a blessed day. Peace.